starting off with a loaded question here. Introduce yourself, your background with pinball, and what the Southern Pinball Festival is.
My name is Leon Essex, and my background in pinball started when I was, oh my gosh, back in 82, 83, 2 million years ago. Started to steal quarters off of my dad's dresser. So he saw fit that if I mowed enough yards and saved enough money, he'd give me my own pinball machine. So at age 12, I worked my way up the mowing yard business in South Florida, and eventually wound up with Evel Knievel. So after that, took a hiatus from the hobby for probably 15 years, and 20 years, and it's about 10 years ago, got back into the hobby, introduced it to my kids, was my excuse to my wife, and since then it's been a great reintroduction in my life to be involved with pinball.
So it's a family thing now, and then what inspired you to do Southern Pinball Festival in general?
Southern Pinball Festival, we saw a need to bring pinball into the forefront in the southern states. We did not see an avenue for the average person to play and be involved in this hobby on a festival type level. So it was an opportunity for us to celebrate pinball, something that we love and we cherish very much, and it was an opportunity to not only do that but educate and reintroduce American pastime to the community that thought pinball was no longer around.
So it is around. When you got into it 10 years ago, again, was it a lot smaller, a lot more? I mean, what was it like 10 years ago as opposed to now?
It was a pretty it was a pretty small, tight group in the sense. You look back on it, and it probably was bigger than you realized. But in the regard of having it being forced out into the light in the public, it's much more accessible and available towards the community and the people out there that thought it was gone. So in retrospect, it was probably bigger than we thought, but hidden, quietly hidden amongst private collectors and enthusiasts like ourselves. So we see that market getting bigger and growing and becoming more fruitful for us and for the people just getting into this hobby.
And so your main reasons for starting the festival were what? What were like the main reasons?
We wanted to. We just love pinball. So we wanted to throw a festival, throw a party. Yeah, yeah. And if we can do that and reintroduce people to this wonderful thing that we love, that was only just the bonus for us.
And how have the previous two events gone?
Swimmingly, yeah. I think beyond our expectations. We grew from year one to year two. Year one was, obviously we didn't know what to expect. Trying to model ourselves off of some other shows and kind of grab some fire from them and figure out what they're doing right. We think we did a good job in year one, but we knew that it was time to develop our brand for the future because we knew it was going to get bigger. Year two was quite a surprise. It was very successful, and so as we embark in year three, we're kind of looking forward into 2014 and beyond about where this could go and eventually what it could become, which is a very exciting time for us because we see it growing and developing into something that I think we're going to be very, very proud of. In our now, we'll be more proud of.
Basically, like it sounds like every year you're redlining a gear and you got to keep shifting gears. Pretty much. And now you're like the third year is going to be like last year, but redlining even more.
Yeah, we're definitely struggling with that growth at this point. Venue space we've maxed out on. We are definitely trying to figure out how to facilitate our vision, and that's becoming more difficult every year as we continue to progress and the show continues to grow. But yeah, it's a challenge for us to find a good balance.
Will there be anything new this year?
This year, we are looking for bringing in some new speakers. Can't say who that is.
Looking for, or you are. There's two different things. You are, or you.
we are hopefully going to be bringing in some new speakers.
You intend on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
On top of Gary and Jack, we do have some other people on our sites that I think the Florida community is going to be extremely excited about. We're not quite there yet. We're hoping that comes to fruition, and if it does, it'll be announced, and we highly anticipate that.
And where do you see pinball, the industry and the hobby going? Like right now at this rate, where's it going?
I think in the last several years for the southern market, pinball's been alive and well up in the northern market, Midwest and out west. They've been very lucky to have such a strong community of collectors and enthusiasts, where Florida was kind of on their own little island in the south here, and all I see is nothing but positive aspects of the show, what it's doing for people, rejuvenating their childhood memories and just the fun of the hobby. It's almost like a revival. Maybe we should have even called it that, pinball revival, because that's kind of what it is. And
yeah.
I see it completely exploding in this market, and it's being well received.
And so how are people finding out about your events, or like, other than the internet? Like, if you're not a pinball owner, you're not on Pinside, you're not on local Village BBS, you're not on Facebook, like how are people finding out about this?
Well, we do our best to promote through media, as far as digital media and as far as print material. We also do promotions throughout the year. We will present at different shows. This year we're going to be at 2 shows, Nerdapalooza and Spooky Empire, getting the word out through word of mouth, and also just local scene, as far as flyers, passing out flyers, web interest, anywhere that we can push the show and push pinball in general has been our line of fire to do that.
And people basically wandering on the street too, like they hear about it or they see a flyer last minute.
Every year, it's amazing how many people come up to me and go, "I have 4 machines. I had no idea that there was anything like this, and thank you so much for putting this on." And when you hear that, it blows your mind. And now we've given them a vehicle to travel down their passion that they've had, that they privately had. Now they can openly, enjoy that with us at the show. And every year I get multiple people tell me that, and it's awesome. It's awesome.
You think it kind of inspires them to get more into it,
Absolutely.
more involved?
Yeah, there's camaraderie there. People come up and talk about what they grew up with, and what machines they had, and why they got the ones they have now, or why what are the machines they want to get now that they realize that there's a community out there, there's a functioning show, there's trading, and there's purchasing, and they had no idea that these things existed, and they all of a sudden wake up and they go, "That's it, I'm getting that game I had when I was 15, or I played at the." So you see them kind of wake up, and it's awesome to see them rediscover. And that was the whole goal, was to reintroduce and have people rediscover this amazing hobby of ours. And we see it all the time, and it's awesome.
Yeah, because the peaks in the 70s and the 90s, the people that were kids, teenagers, and young adults from elementary to college that grew up in the 70s and they grew up in the 90s, well, they all either, the boomers had kids are gone, they can't do the motorcycling they used to do, they can't do the rock climbing and skydiving. TV's boring. Their kids rarely visit, or the grandkids rarely visit, and they're bored. And so a lot of them have space, and they have room for pinball.
Right.
And it's something they can do with their grandkids, their kids, their wife, their neighbors. And then I'm Gen X. I'm the last year of Gen X. I'm 32, and so I remember when arcades existed. They were still alive and relatively well. When I was a teenager, and so we have. Those that are sane and know how to save have expendable income, and if you could save $1,500 in a year or however long it takes,
Right.
and you don't have, habits that take a lot of money like alcohol, you can afford a pinball machine.
That's correct.
You can stop drinking coffee, lattes for a year, and you can afford a pinball machine.
Right.
If you stop drinking beer, you could probably almost afford a new in box.
I think that's the number one question that I get is, what do these cost? They have no idea. So you tell them the possibilities, and you can see it within their reach. And you can,
Then
in their
they know.
eyes, yeah, in their eyes, you can see it. They're thinking in their head, and they're like, "Oh, I could definitely do that."
They can
And
sell
and yeah.
this, they can sell that.
And then the next question is, where do I get this title? Where do I get that title? Do you know what those cost?
And
That's
it's
the next
bridging,
question you
and it's
get.
bridging the gap of seeing as a kid, playing as a kid or an adult, and then they forgot about it completely. It's bridging the gap from it being a memory to a current activity and making it part of their life. Because once you have a pinball machine, it's like a child. You got to take care of that thing.
Yeah.
You can't just lay it. It's not you don't plant a seed in your yard and you walk away.
Right.
You have to take care of this thing. There's maintenance, like a car. It's preventive maintenance. So, and then you have to get involved.
Well, like anything you love, you dive in head first. So, truly, if somebody really enjoys the hobby and they love the hobby, and it may not be for everybody, but I would say a large majority of the people that get into this hobby, they're very open to learning about the mechanics and the theory behind it. They're very like sponges. They just can't get enough information about small things. When they complete something, they fix something small, it's a huge win for them, and then they move on to something a little bit bigger. They move on to tearing a mech down. They move on to doing something else. And so I think that when you love and you're passionate about a particular hobby, you will seek out to learn how to fix and repair and take care of your thing that you love. So that's kind of a natural progression for anyone that gets back into this or reintroduces this hobby to themselves.
And these pinball people that and these collectors and people you hang out with,
Yeah.
what are they like? I mean, are they just? I mean, are they the normal people that have jobs and save money and know how to pay their bills and know how to have fun? Really?
Amongst ourselves, we don't call ourselves normal, but yeah, everyone's a regular Joe, and that's what's great about this is you can be on the same level or plane as a teacher or a financial advisor or somebody that's a waitress or a waiter. It doesn't really matter. And when you're sitting down and you're talking pinball, you're all at the same level, and everyone is equal. So it's an equalizer to me. So it's neat to see the different occupations that people in this hobby. It's all over the board, and I think that's what's great about this hobby is because, and to me, I think the theory behind that is it was all accessible for us when we were younger. It didn't matter if your parents were wealthy or not wealthy. You can always find a quarter to pop into a machine. So you grew up and you went to college and you did your thing and you got married and had kids and all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, that finite thread between us still exists, no matter what you do or what where you live or what kind of house you're in or what kind of boat you own or don't own and what have you. So that's kind of the neat thing about this is you could be at a table with 5 of your buds and there's
totally different backgrounds.
Yeah.
Everything's different. Everything totally different. The rest of our lifestyles are totally different. There's no tribalism, behind it. Everybody's tribalism this, tribalism that, arguing over absolutely nothing. Arguing to argue. Whereas in pinball, like, all right, we're arguing about how we can make games better and play better, and
Sure.
and we don't argue. We it's camaraderie, and that's the thing is like, there's never a fight in the pinball community over. I mean, like with friends, it's all like, I want this deal. Oh, I don't want it. Do you want it? Oh,
Right.
well, I got it. You didn't. Oh, okay. Well, I don't want it anymore. You
Yeah.
can buy it. And so the healthy, sane people, it's like, wow. I've never met more healthy and sane people in my life than the pinball community.
Yeah, I mean, there's a natural progression towards that. I mean, I think everyone has their moments, but at the end of the day, I have not had the experience of running in any situations where I was regretful of being involved in it. At the same token, I think everyone is looking out for everybody in this community, and if I find something that I'm just not for me, I know somebody that does, and you pass it along as a gesture of kindness and goodwill towards the pinball gods.
Oh,
So,
yeah. And why should people make it out to the 2013 Southern Pinball Festival?
People should come out to 2013 SPF because I think they're going to have a great time. 3 days of pure pinball. Will be open.
What days are it?
Days are, well, November 21st, 22nd, 23rd. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We open at, I believe we're opening at 3 on Friday, close at midnight. We'll be at 10 a.m. Saturday, close at midnight, and we will be Sunday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And I think that for being a young show like us, I think that we offer a fantastic pinball experience that anyone would enjoy, and I think you'll have a great time.
I've had a real good time at both shows, 2 different locations. I met many new people that again, this is the only place I would have met them.
Yeah.
I mean, I have friends I've done business with, had work on my games that I met at these shows.
Right.
I've done interviews with all types of people at these shows last year. We've got a lot of footage, a lot of traffic and interest from that. So
right.
The interest level's there and it grows every year.
Mm-hmm.
And where is it going to be? What hotel?
It's at the Crowne Plaza, Universal. We're going to be launching our new website, a revamped website, in just a few weeks. We'll have all the detail. We'll have a hotel link. We'll have the hours, pricing, and it'll have a little bit more detail than I can offer at this point because we're still finalizing some things. We're 4 months out, so we're cleaning up a few things. We'll have obviously a tournament run by Donnie White. Donnie White's also an organizer of Southern Pinball Festival, and hands down, I think Donnie is probably one of the best tournament organizers in the entire country.
Yep.
With that being said, any of the professional players that come to this show, there's no need to be warned. You will have a fantastic tournament, an experience that I think that you can get here that unlike any other tournament in the country. So every year our prize purse grows. Every year it gets more competitive, and those players out there willing to give it a shot, I suggest you come check out our tournament. It's definitely top-notch by time.
And you're welcome to bring a game. Is there concessions, like if you bring a game, or how?
Absolutely.
Okay.
If you bring a game, we'll give you a free weekend into the show. We're working on maybe some discounts depending on how many games you're looking to bring. But yeah, we would love to have your games. Without your games, we don't have a show. That's kind of how it works. We definitely appreciate the support that the collector communities and the enthusiasts bring and help support the show. Without that, we wouldn't be able to do what we do.
Well, thank you, Leon. Do you have any parting words for
we look
people?
forward to seeing you. Keep a look on the website, www.southernpinballfestival.com. Our updates will be up here in a couple of weeks, and we look forward to seeing you. Come say hello.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.